is television possibly discouraging something that's very valuable? Do you privately feel that perhaps it is, for example, killing conversation, making it impossible for people?
TV makes possible talk shows.
It makes talk shows possible.
It demands audience participation. You cannot have a TV show without an audience.
But they don't do any of the talking. They sit there and
they participate the way they do in football, and without a public, there is no game. In an empty stadium, you have a practice, you don't have a game going at all. So without a TV audience, there is no show. The audience participation is part of the TV medium.
But it isn't a participation that they have with other people, is it? I mean,
well, both.
It's possible that they have...
Remember, TV goes right into the human nervous system. It goes right into the midriff. The image pours right off that tube into the nerves. It's an inner trip. The TV viewer is stoned. It's addictive, like your show.
But things that addict people have a bad effect on them many times.
No, you can be addicted to quite benign and delightful things.
Sure.
Conversation included.
Then would you say that it is your opinion there is no real negative effect of television on the mass public, even though a lot of people are rather worried about it? They think that...
insofar as it tends to be an inner trip, certainly deprives people of outer goals and motivation toward outer goals. It drives people inward. And this is unlike the movie, which drove people outward. But TV, insofar as it drives people inward, is driving us in the direction of the Eastern world. Just as the East goes west, we go east. And this is revolutionary in the extreme. It also deprives the Westerner of much of his private identity. And this is very upsetting to many people. The loss of identity is very disturbing. They prefer, more and more people prefer this group orientation of the sort of soundlight shows and the sense of togetherness.
What do you think that feeling is when sometimes you have maybe an hour to spend in the house and you don't want to turn the television on because it kind of changes your consciousness? It's a little like when you come out of a movie. You can't really talk for a while.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? I've noticed people come out of the show, they're rather numb. When they walk out of a show, there's very little conversation. They seem to be abstracted, wafted off into a world of private experience. I think TV tends to be more social and less isolating than the movie. The movie tends to the world of the private dream.
It's funny that we wouldn't believe it, but we were talking about the subject of a beard while we were away, and I'm wondering if this sort of vague discomfort that I feel has to do with feeling that I'm not sure it's me sitting here.
You're afraid you're putting on the public?
That may be it.
Or
I don't know.
Taking them off. There's a strange expression, you know, you're taking me off, you're putting me on.
And they both mean the same thing.
They both mean the same thing.
How can they mean the same thing and be opposite?
Baudelaire put it in that famous phrase of his, hypocrite lecteur, mon semblable, mon frère. The hypocrite is a man who wears a mask, puts on a mask, and Baudelaire said, the reader is putting on my poetry and I'm putting on the reader. And it's putting on and taking off. It's consuming and producing simultaneously.